ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Ford Outfitters, No Boundaries, by TGI Fridays, home of the Jack Daniels Grill, and by Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave guaranteed. Put it to the test.
From beautiful new Phillips Arena in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, our college basketball matchup this afternoon. The unbeaten Cardinal of Stanford, a road trip and a long one to meet the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Dick Vitale. My partner and I wrap up a busy college basketball week with a good one, we think, this afternoon. The Cardinal 5-0. They've got the Collins twins playing very well still without Mark Madsen. Georgia Tech, Jason Collier and Alvin Jones are their twin towers. Might be the little guys that have a bearing on this game, though.
I agree with you, Brad. I think it could be a good game, but it'll depend on Tony Akins and Sean Fine. Akins must penetrate and create opportunities for Fine to knock the three down for them to have a chance against the suffocating defense of Stanford. Remember this number. Teams are only shooting 29% against Stanford. They defend and they rebound, and that's why they're unbeaten.
Let's check Mike Montgomery's starting lineup. You see McDonald and Mosley in the backcourt, Collins, twins, and Mendez up front. Mike McDonald, their leader, 21 assists on the season so far. For Bobby Crummen's Yellow Jackets, Collier and Floyd at the forwards, Alvin Jones the center. Sean Fine joins Tony Akins, who Dick just mentioned. 5.5 assists, his third in the ACC. Jason Collier coming off a 26-point, 10-rebound performance in a loss to Georgia on Wednesday night. Georgia Tech looking to get back in the win column. They need an upset to get their season back rolling, and they'll have the basketball first.
Nothing fancy by Stanford defensively, man-to-man defense, and they really packing it inside. Mike Montgomery does a phenomenal job teaching the half-court defense.
Jason Floyd is a good shooter when he plays in Atlanta, not so good on the road, and he starts off hot here at Phillips Arena with a deuce from the outside.
Very streaky shooter, but he can give him point production on the wing.
On top, Collins. Keep the Collins straight for you. The easiest way to tell is Jaron's got shorter hair than Jason. That's Jaron inside. Rebound up high is Floyd. Up to Sean Fine.
Good weak side rebound by Floyd. Coming up, nobody blocked him out.
Inside they go. Collier with the left hand. Missed the hook. Jones trying to keep it alive, and Mike McDonald will pull down the loose ball rebound.
Well, at least they're trying to establish Collier inside to start the game.
Mosley for three, and he got it.
I'll tell you, they got the M&M guys on the wings that can shoot the basketball, Brad. Mendez on one side and Mosley on the other. He had 20 against Duke in an overtime game you and I did for the coaches versus cancer.
They played very well in that game. Foul on Mosley on the other end against Sean Fine.
You look at the Stanford team, they've really been restructured by Mike Montgomery. Lost so many key players from last year, Weems, and certainly losing Arthur Lee, Tim Young to the NBA. But they just came back, just have started right from scratch. Because if you defend and rebound, you got a chance to win.
Here's Collier inside, kicks out to Fine. They play catch, the low post. Collier inside, and it rimmed out on him. Mosley the rebound.
He's got a nice touch, transferred from out of Indiana. I think it's a tendency that he plays too much on the perimeter. Has got to go inside more.
I agree. They tried to get it to him that time, and that one just spit out on it. Jason Collins, left hand. Alvin Jones got a piece of it. Got a piece of the second one as well. They still don't get it to drop. The loose ball comes out. Tony Akins on the run. And Akins tripped. Either Mosley or McDonald got him. They were both there.
Stanford foul number 4. Michael McDonald. That's his first, second team foul.
Watch Stanford now go for the offensive glass, and we see the ball go up. They're very aggressive on the interior, very active. They really attack the basketball, a trademark of Mike Montgomery's club.
Alvin Jones, a guy that will make you alter your shots. School record holder in block shots already.
One of the real premier shot blockers in America, human eraser on the inside defensively.
Akins gets it down to Jones, who loses it out of bounds.
Well, didn't have the good angle right there. See, that's what I'm talking about guard players. You look at Bobby Crimmins, under a little bit of heat right now, and I personally think unfair when you look at the long term and look at what he's achieved here. 9 consecutive NCAA berths at one time. Won the ACC championship, the regular season, in '96. 2 players have really created a problem for us. Deion Glover, as we see the missed foul, 3-point shot, got fouled on a play. Deion Glover and Stephon Marbury going wrong.
Right.
Georgia Tech foul on number 30.
Foul on Jason Floyd. That'll be his first. And it's going to send Mendez to the free throw line.
You know, Mendez shot 47% from the three-point line 2 years ago. Started this year 1 for 13.
He's 8 out of 9 from the free throw line so far this year. Gives Stanford a 2-point lead.
They say he's really heating it up in practice. They said he's starting to get his rhythm. He was a medical redshirt from last season.
Missed all but 5 games with a knee injury.
That's an automatic 3. Put it down in your pad right now. I know you're keeping it. Put it down. Just put it down. This is automatic. Look at that stroke. Look at that stroke. Are you kidding me? I mean, the kid is automatic.
Ooh. Had to bounce around, but I didn't have to erase anything.
But all good shooters get the bounce.
4-point lead early for Stanford. It's been Georgia Tech's big problem this year in their 3 losses is finding themselves in early holes that they can't dig themselves out of. Here's Fine on the baseline. That rimmed out. Collier had a hand on it, loses to Mendez, and here comes McDonald.
You're right about those early starts against Georgia. They were down 14-2 out of the gate.
Michigan, same thing happened in that game and against Kansas in the Great Alaska Shootout. Here's Mendez for 3. That one rims out. Alvin Jones with a rebound.
Alvin Jones had a big game against Michigan. He walked right there. He had 17 points, 16 rebounds. Look at Bobby Crimmins. He really was the Frank Lloyd Wright who rebuilt this program. They were 0-14 in the ACC the year prior to him coming here.
Came from Appalachian State, where he had won 100 games, and now in his 25th season has won 444 overall, 344 here in Atlanta.
Man-to-man defense right now. They execute so well.
McDonald got a pretty good look, got an open shot and missed it. Jones another board.
They want McDonald to distribute the ball a little bit more, get it to key people on the interior.
Fine's been in a little bit of a slump. Talked to him before the game. He's hoping that this is the place he gets out of it. As Akins gets one up in the paint. And Jason Collins clears off the rebound.
See, one of the things with Tony Akins, I should see the trail man right now. I think he gets shot a little bit too much.
Foul's going to be on Collier, trying to hold his ground. Jason Collins and Collier collide.
We're going to watch right now. There's the trailer. Jason Collins taking it up strong. They get the foul on, the blocking call.
Jason Collier didn't quite have his left foot set there. Neither team exactly lighting it up so far. Stanford 1 for 6, Georgia Tech 1 for 5.
Well, maybe because it's so early. Hey, remember this. 2 years ago, Stanford had a play at 12 noon as he makes the first free throw against Connecticut. And they were blown out, and they felt that it's like 9 a.m. on their clock back there, and they weren't really mentally into it. And that was the year they recovered, and they went to the Final Four 2 years ago, winning 30 games.
They were here yesterday for a shoot-around and then went to the NBA game last night. The Hawks were hosts.
Yeah, P.J. Colismo got a big road win.
Yeah, and the Hawks had their 5-game winning streak snapped. Collier outside.
So that's what he likes to do, step out to the perimeter, knock down 4 threes at the end of the game against Georgia.
There's a lot of guys that can shoot threes, though. You don't have to be 7 foot. You'd think you'd want them down lower.
Exactly. Get him inside. Let him be a little bit more aggressive around the basket. He's got good touch.
Jason Collins, left hand. Jones battles him inside, and now a chance for a 3-point play.
I mean, that's Stanford basketball right there. Working on the glass, hustling, scrapping. Can you imagine if they're surviving the way they are right now? Wait till they get Madsen.
Yeah.
You talk about a physical presence. Now watch him down deep inside. There he is, laying on the glass. Now look at his second effort. A great second effort. Good head fake. See you young kids out there? It was the head fake and the ball fake that got him free for that opportunity.
So Jason with 4 already.
I saw Jimmy Herrick a little bit earlier as he missed that free throw. They're playing after this game here against Wake Forest. But remember, the controversy over the expense account was over the 2 young men, the twins.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were thinking about going to UCLA before all those problems surfaced and ended up with the Stanford Cardinal. Mike Montgomery obviously glad about that. 10 straight points for Stanford, and they lead 10-2. Nice cut. The wing. Mendez doesn't get it, though.
Yeah, good backdoor cut. The one thing they do is they execute. Nothing spectacular, Brad. I think they're a kind of club you watch them play and you say, they're not as good as that record.
Right.
But you know what? They are, because they do everything as a team.
Floyd is the only guy that has scored for Georgia Tech. Here's Fine around a pick. Rebound Mendez.
He is cold, and that's his reputation. Catch and shoot the 3. Transfer from out of Stonehill, Division II, where he's a regional All-American.
Aaron Collins out high. Here's Mosley. And Jones another rebound.
Big guys inside should really neutralize themselves. It's the guard. It's out of control right there. Out of control.
3rd Georgia Tech turnover. It's not a good sign at the first time out. They have more turnovers than you have points, and Bobby Crimmins knows that.
which for.
We're going to take a look right now. They're trying to form a little triangle right here. Now, hold it right here. See right here, little triangle from the three guys. But what I like is they got the big guy, Collier, on the inside. Now he's going to try to wheel to the lane. Freeze it. See, right here. He's got to get out of here to give him the opportunity to spin into the lane to shoot his shot. Akins trying to clear out. And now he's got that little hook shot. But at least he's on the interior there, and that's what you and I were talking about. He's too skilled to just be drifting on a perimeter.
He's on the bench right now. Just under 5 minutes gone in the, just over 5 minutes gone in the ball game. And Georgia Tech hit their first shot and has missed 8 straight.
That's been a drought. I remember when they had the lethal three, man. I remember those three guys, Anderson, Scott, and Oliver.
Yep.
1990 went to the Final Four. UNLV was the dominant team out there, won the national title. They had this place jumping. Now we got a lot of empty seats. Everybody in Atlanta must be shopping for Christmas or getting ready to go to Brad Nessler's party tonight.
Babel down low, just checked in. Nice move on the baseline by Babel.
Yeah, Babel froze the defender. And I think the reason the defender was frozen is he doesn't shoot that often.
Very seldom. He's a defensive player, good rebounder.
Brother plays for the University of Massachusetts.
Another twin. Back.
Well, this kid Borchards on the floor now, Brad. He's really been impressive.
Jones, quick hands, and Tony Akins good up with a steal.
Yeah, good hustle by Akins right there. Diving for the loose ball.
Jones is the guy that started that.
McDonald key to their defensive scheme for Stanford by playing the ball up on top. Tough.
Floyd looking to pack it into Jones. Right back out, Floyd for three. Got it. Jason Floyd, as we said, he shoots well at Atlanta. Not a great road player, especially at Alexander Memorial Coliseum. He can light it up.
Yeah, 2 31-point games down here. Good inside-outside action. Good look by Alvin Jones to get it out to Floyd. Good two-man game.
So Georgia Tech's closed the gap to 3. Jaron Collins against Jones. Altered the shot a little bit. Ball out to Stanford.
Jaron, an inside-outside player. We're going to show a little inside-outside. See, the ball goes down inside right here. And then he kicks it right back out, and he's wide open. Good baseline execution of a two-man game.
Borchards on top. He's going to wheel and deal. Rebound Jones.
I'd say he's been a real surprise. Borchards had 16 points against Auburn. Hit a big three with the score tied with 1:35 to go.
He and Jaron Collins hit 13 of the last 15 points against Auburn. Tony Akins on the baseline, and Georgia Tech's back to within 1.
It gives you a mini version of Travis Best when you look at him, but certainly doesn't have Best kind of talent and skills.
Third left-handed point guard of the decade for Georgia Tech, though. Travis Best and Kenny Anderson.
Well, he's had some great point guards when you include Payson at Nix, and Marbury, Drew Barry.
Tough act to follow for anybody in here. And a foul, I think, on Sean Fine, trying to stay with his guy on the baseline.
I talked a little bit earlier about Bobby Cremins and talking about how, you know, when you look at the record and what he's achieved, and I mentioned Glover and I mentioned Marbury. Had those guys stayed, I think their run of the NCAA invitations would have been there. And I really think when you look at his total record, I mean, he's had a clean NCAA record here. I mean, there's talk now, Brad, strong talk, that if he doesn't produce this year in NCAA tournament, he's a big-time scorer.
Almost 3,300 high school points.
Wow. Second in the history of the state of California. Number 1 was Darnell Robinson, who went to Arkansas and made a major mistake not listening to Nolan Richardson and coming back to school. Went to the NBA early and is a forgotten guy today.
You are correct about that, sir. Babel was open, push inside. No, 3-second violation. 11 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the half. Georgia Tech back in the thick of things, but Casey Jacobson, the freshman, off the bench. 2 field goal attempts, 2 scores. Stanford by 3. By 3, 11:22 to go in the half. We've got women's action coming up. 2 o'clock Eastern today on ESPN2, the Big Ten SEC Challenge. Lady Hoops is Michigan will take out number 22 LSU. Second game of a doubleheader. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Hey, I'll tell you, you mentioned LSU. The men's team has really been surprising early and haven't lost yet. 2 kids, Jabari Smith inside as a center and Stromile Swift, they're telling me is playing unbelievable, the Super South.
It'd be nice if LSU stayed in the thick of things to have them back in the SEC picture. Florida right now, a lot of people think might be the cream of that crop.
Yeah, Auburn struggled a little bit. Had a tough game with Florida State, lost to Stanford.
Stanford beat Auburn 67-58 in the Wooden Classic.
Really controlled tempo in that game, and that's a key for Stanford against teams that like to run up and down the floor and pressure. They do a great job controlling tempo.
Auburn struggling with their rebounding right now. This Stanford team hammered them on the boards. In fact, 46-29.
Struggling shooting the basketball today. Early they're leading, but they're shooting 4 for 15.
Georgia Tech again a chance to cut the lead down to 1. TJ Vines has checked in at the point guard. He packs it down low to Babel. Babel loses his balance.
Vines was 1 for 5 against Georgia as well. They shot poorly from the perimeter in that game, losing to Jimmy Herrick's team in that controversial game.
Collier wants it down low. They can't seem to get it to him. Now they do against Jason Collins. And he gets doubled. In a hurry, Vines got a shot away just before the shot clock expired, and it wasn't a good shot.
And a reason again why Stanford's got the lead is their defensive effort. And one thing that's a constant with them, they'll play great team defense.
Jacobson takes the 3.
He's out of his range right there, man. That was beyond the NBA line.
Fine bringing it down, sees a little crease, and he'll try to take it. Orchard pulls off the weak side rebound.
Orchard also broke a record in the school for blocked shots, had 6 in one game. His dad played in the NFL.
Mosley tries a 3. A little ragged on both ends right now.
Yeah, the one thing I'm sure Mike Montgomery doesn't like right now is they're shooting the ball too quickly, not making the extra pass.
There's Clarence Moore, a freshman out of Louisiana that Georgia Tech thinks very highly of.
Yeah, a lot of people like him. They say he's very athletic. He can run up and down the floor, quickness.
Babel took a fade over Borchard, missed everything.
I think all the guys are tired right now. I'll tell you what, we don't see really good execution too early.
Joe Giovanni down low, and he threw it away. 4th Stanford turnover. TJ Vines. Vines to Fine.
Reverse the ball.
Collier inside walks with it.
Sloppy, really sloppy play. At least we got a Joe Vicini on. I got a little linguini special on the court.
It remains 14-11. And Stanford, there's that defense against the field that Dick talked about.
Wow. I'll tell you, one of the most underrated coaches nationally. You talk to his peers, and they'll all tell you, he is really a guy that's teams are always well drilled.
Georgia Tech shooting 33%.
Field goal percentages are down all over America.
They are.
And one of the reasons is the sophistication with the defensive ability of players, but also the three-point shot. Everybody's trying to shoot the 3.
Either trying to get the jam or the 3. And
exactly.
We finally saw a kid the other night, Charlie Bell, who could hit the medium-range jump shot as a guard. Here's TJ Vines for long range. Georgia Tech's had several chances to either tie or at least close the gap in this game, and they haven't been able to take advantage of it.
You're right when you talk about the medium range game. When you got all 4, you got the three-point shot, the medium range, the low blocks covered, special situations. You got a great chance to be successful.
Neither team scored in over 3 minutes.
Unbelievable. He heard you. Good execution. Nobody rotated over to give any kind of help.
Nice cut by Mike McDonald to the hoop.
Yeah, McDonald with that quick drive. All his buddies right now are playing over in Israel and in Turkey. When you're talking about Lee and Weems from last year, there's the drive. Clear out the left side.
Tim Young, you mentioned earlier. Pete Sauer, Mark Seaton, they lost 5 guys and still come in with an undefeated team playing without its best player.
Well, that's a program now. See, they got an established program that they just have guys ready to play.
Alvin Jones finally trying to get involved with the offense, missed wildly with a hook.
Yeah, he showed a hook. Tried to be like George Mikan years ago. We don't see that shot.
Mosley. All the way inside, wave it off, though.
They wave it off, but it's a good drive by the kid. At least he's attacking the basket, one of the M&M guys.
Picks up his 2nd foul.
Bobby Cremins on that sideline, former South Carolina Gamecock. There's the drive. Defensive player planted. Good call by the official. See, watch the defense rotate over. Defense is there. Alvin Jones, good job rotating over. He made like Shane Battier. He's the best in college basketball, Battier.
And taking the charge. You got that right.
They got a heck of a game today with Michigan, who's undefeated.
Collier couldn't handle Lakin's pass. They may say it was last touch by Stanford, however, but we've got a timeout with 7:50 remaining in the half. Stanford in front of Georgia Tech by 5.
Introducing the new Encore movie channel. Now you'll get recent, big, hit movies. And the new Encore is the only channel that promises...
Some kids from the farm have made it from California to Atlanta. 16-11 Stanford out in front. Here's a big kid that's doing all right, Dick.
Yeah, Jason Collins on the interior, giving a good offensive rebound right there. Good second effort. Good ball fake. Now he shows his defensive presence, makes Collier throw the ball outside. And then he gets in the rebounding position. Certainly a pleasant happiness for them to have this kid who's had so many injuries, and really you got to feel good that he's playing now. I know his dad, Paul, was really excited watching him play over in New York. His dad was from New York State.
He's actually considered a redshirt freshman, as his brother is a junior. That's how little he's played so far. Jones kicks outside, and Moore missed the jumper.
Yeah, shot selection is so important to an offense. I'll tell you, Brad, right there, and that's not good shot selection right there.
Georgia Tech hadn't scored in over 4.5 minutes.
They're coming up 3 in a row. They've lost now. When Kansas beat them in the final in the Great Alaska Shootout, then they lost that tough game to Michigan, and then they lost to Georgia.
T.J. Vines trying to pick up the defense against Jacobson. Does a pretty nice job. Made him pick up his dribble. And Mike McDonald pushing off on Tony Akins.
Yeah, they got a foul on McDonald as he's trying to cut to the basket. Got this club coming cross country. This is the kind of game you got to win.
Tony Akins, nice crossover dribble, missed the shot.
Stanford may have other ideas down at the farm. They're cheering for their Cardinal.
Barnes now running the show at the point.
Yeah, he's a freshman with a good future. This kid, he's really quick, got explosiveness. Just has to learn how to play the point.
Jason feeds Jaron. And ball loose, last touch by Collier.
Two big guys played a little high-low game with each other.
Georgia Tech substitution, number 34.
I'll tell you, look at the ACC. The one thing they got in their favor, Georgia Tech, is you don't have the heavyweights like Carolina, Duke, and Maryland last year.
Yeah,
the automatic 6 losses last year. I don't care how good you were.
That's right.
And that's why they only got 3 teams in the tournament. Everybody, I mean, had 6 losses almost out of the gate against those 3. I mean, this year, if you play well in your Georgia Tech, you could steal some of those games.
Jaron Collins kicks outside to Julius Barnes. And Tony Akins going to let it go wisely. Out of bounds in front of Bobby Cremens. ESPN Sunday Night Football continues this week. 8:15 from Kansas City. Tough place to play where Derek Thomas and the Chiefs host Randy Moss and the Vikings. Then on Monday Night Football, Mark Brunell and the Jaguars battle the Broncos at 9. ABC and ESPN, your exclusive home for primetime NFL action. 2 good games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I love our threesome that we got there with Theismann and Patrick and McGuire. They do a heck of a job.
Foul was on Julius Barnes. That's his first. 5:47 left in the half. Stanford leading 16-13.
There's a push-off right there.
Alvin Jones picks up a cheap one.
Got to get a little bit more enthusiasm. We seem to be hanging their head. That's that confidence factor. You lose 3 games in a row, and it really shakes your confidence. I think they were anticipating having a great year this year.
Georgia Tech does not have an offensive rebound.
Wow.
We've got 5:45 left in the half. That's not a good sign.
Well, that means you're not playing aggressive basketball. Right. I think there's certain areas that indicate you're playing aggressive basketball. When you force a steal, when you offensively rebound, and you block shots.
Floyd picks up the foul. That's his second. So Floyd and Jones both with a couple. Here's Barnes against Akins.
You and I saw an aggressive team. I'll tell you, Cincinnati, the Bearcats.
Boy, we saw a Michigan State team that for about 30 minutes was about as aggressive as you can get to. Jacobson walked with it before the move.
They got a big matchup today. They're down in Tucson trying to break that big win streak, 35 in a row at home at McKeel Center. Against Arizona.
5.5 to go in the half. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale and our ESPN crew in Atlanta, Georgia. On this Saturday to start off things, we've got Maryland, Kentucky tonight as well. Collier for 3.
See, that's what he likes to do. He likes to play on the perimeter, and he has a good stroke. There's nothing wrong inverting and sometimes going out there, but you don't want him to do that exclusively.
He said Georgia Tech kept hanging around. Now they're tied with Stanford, and that brings the crowd to life a little bit with just over 5 to play in the half.
Well, you know, I talk to the NBA scouts, and Collier and Jones are both projected first-rounders.
Barnes.
He likes to shoot the ball. I think he's got to make an extra pass or 2 And he's going to be a very good player because he's got super quickness, Barnes, and he just has to understand the role of a point guard. There's Jason Collier stepping out, showing that long-range jumper.
That's his 6th 3 of the year. Has 4 the other night, as Dick said. Now they walk the other way because he was fouled over the back by Jaron Collins.
Wow, he's finally going to the foul line. Didn't go to the foul line. He didn't score on the free throw line against Georgia. I said, you got to go inside and you got to get fouled. He said, but I was being fouled and they didn't call it. He said, oh, geez.
So Georgia Tech regains the lead. Almost amazingly with the way they went about 5 minutes without scoring any points. Now they got a little package going here and they lead by 2.
Well, you know, they're doing a pretty good job defensively, and Stanford really not executing offensively like they normally do.
18-16, Georgia Tech by a deuce.
Guy that can give him point productions on the court right now, and that's Jacobson, who can shoot the 3 as well as drive.
Barnes and Jacobson, the Collins twins, and Mendez on the floor for the Cardinal.
Playing a freshman backcourt right now with Jacobson and Barnes.
Barnes picked up his dribble.
It's a no-no.
Georgia Tech trying to pick up the intensity on the defensive end as well.
Get it inside. Dump it inside to the big guy.
Jacobson against Fine. Lofts one. Not a good shot.
No, not really a shot within the realm of their offense. You'd rather go inside and outside. They're not bringing the ball inside at all.
Remember, Stanford is 5-0 without Mad Dog.
Oh, there he is. I love him. I love him. What a great competitor he is, Brad. Unbelievable, fierce competitor.
Pulled his hamstring in that game Dick and I did against Duke, and it was in the final couple of minutes, and he was diving for a loose ball. I mean, that's the kind of player he is.
Exactly.
That's how he got hurt. He went and visited a specialist in Birmingham yesterday while the rest of the team was here for the shoot-around, hoping to be back by Pac-10 conference play. Nice job defensively by Collins, but it comes back to Floyd. And now it's Mendez with a steal.
They want to make sure he's healthy for the Pac-10 because that's going to be a race and a half with UCLA and Arizona.
Rebound, Jason Collins throws his shoulder in, gets a shot away, and got it to drop.
Jason Collins got away with one, I think, on that baseline. A little bump. A little bump. Bobby Crimmins says, hey, wait a minute, we're in Atlanta. Blow the whistle.
Duke Edsel, Brian Kersey, and Jamie Lucky are officials.
Beautiful building, by the way. It's the first time I've been here, Brad.
Here's Alvin Jones on the turnaround.
He's improved that little jump shot inside. Always has been a shot blocker. Came out of Florida.
Tech by 2. You and I talked to Bob Williams, guy that runs the place here. Phillips Arena. This is just a gorgeous facility. New home of the Hawks and the Thrashers of the NHL. And a walk on Jason Collins. Jason Collins, maybe that was poetic justice for his last trip down, although he did score the last trip down. Little shoulder and up and in, but his team trails by 2. Georgia Tech, though they went through a couple of dry spells, leads by 2 with 3:14 left in this one. Don't forget, I mentioned we got more hoops tonight on ESPN2. Wisconsin visits South Florida, and at 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN from Cole Fieldhouse, number 22 Kentucky, number 19 Maryland will tangle. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. So more hoops tonight.
Yeah, Tubby comes home to Maryland, where he's from. He comes back home, and I'll tell you this, South Florida's got a kid, B.B. Walden, that can flat out play. He's just got to make sure he listens to Coach Seth Greenberg about being punctual. The other day, he mentioned him a little bit, was late for a team meeting. And I got a kid, Altron Jackson, that's outstanding. Larry Conley will be down there doing that game. We got a son here helping us, Larry.
That's right. Larry might be watching if he's not at a shoot-around.
I'm going to talk to whoever's schedule is. I should be in South Florida, and he should be here. It's 20 minutes from my house, 20 minutes from his.
That makes too much sense. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Fine's going to work for a 3-pointer. And Floyd way up for the rebound. Jason Floyd sticks it back up there. Still, Tech can't get it.
He was a high-wire act right there, Jason Floyd. First offensive rebound in the game.
That's amazing. How you get down to 2.5 minutes and finally get an offensive board. Stanford, a chance to tie.
They got to go inside and bring it out, maybe.
Borchert, one-hand hook, and we are tied.
I'll tell you, I like him. This kid Borchert's going to be a special player at 6'11". He can block shots. He's got touch, inside, outside. Nothing rattles him.
Doesn't act like a freshman, does he?
Oh, nice
Akins. Nice job. Tony Akins just short-armed that baby up off the glass. He knew he didn't have much room. He didn't want the shot to get blocked.
Borchert made a mistake there defensively. He never seen the ball. He didn't see the ball, so he couldn't give help to block that shot on Akins.
Akins with 4. Georgia Tech lead is 2. Giovanni from outside. It goes up and hit the top of the scoreboard and back down. So the basket will not count. Babel checked back in for Georgia Tech. 1:48 remaining in the half. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale had a slow start to this game. Pace is picking up a little bit.
Yeah, we've got a lot of talent on the floor right now. Certainly got a lot of good big people. As I said earlier, NBA scouts are projecting Jones and Collier to be first-round picks.
Georgia Tech by 2. Akins for 3. He doesn't get the bounce. Mendez will clear it off. Inside, Collins, and a foul on either Babel or Collier. They were both there. Coming up, Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Brian Kelly's going to be along for the top 25 preview. Notre Dame and Miami of Ohio. And Dick will talk about the all-injury team.
Yeah,
luckily you're not on it.
My all-ER team, my all-emergency room team. And you know who's one of the headliners on it? Mr. Madsen. Guys that are on a sideline. It's amazing all the big-time players that are on the sideline early this year. As I look at Mad Dog Madsen, I tell you, the kid is so unbelievable. After the game, he was like a superstar 2 years ago in New York. At 10:30 at night, everybody else is partying, and he's in a hotel restaurant working on a turntable.
Jacobson checked back in, and Giovacchini checks out.
Giovacchini.
So it's a 1-point Georgia Tech lead.
See, now Collier's trying to post inside. They missed him. You got to know when to give him the ball. He's really active down in the low block.
There he is. Collier, right-hand hook. Babel trying to tip it up there. And Stanford back with a chance to lead. Barnes.
Dump it inside.
Orchard. Rimmed out at 3. Jacobson backpedals and fires. Mendez, 3 tries is a charm.
Look at him rebound. Good offensive rebounding position. That's not by accident. That's by coaching expertise. Putting guys in the right position on the floor. Always having rebounders in a proper lanes. Bobby
Cremins is going to take a timeout for Georgia Tech with 38.3 remaining. And the Stanford Cardinals regained the lead, leading 23-22.
Spread out. Try and hit the open man. If he gives it to you, dump it. All right?
Bobby Cremins with some final instructions out of that timeout.
Trying
Trying to get a decent shot here. There's about a 10-second difference on the shot clock and the game clock. And Stanford today only 27% from the floor, 8 out of 30. They're 1 for 10 from three-point range, so they are not shooting well. Dick talked about the difference in time. Beginning of the season, I did the Texas-Stanford football game, and Texas was all over the Cardinal. That was a 2-hour time difference.
Played that game at 9 o'clock, I guess, Central. I guess it was 9 o'clock their time on the Pacific Coast. 69-17. They regrouped that football team going out to the Rose Bowl now.
Play Wisconsin and Ron Dane. 10 on the shot clock, 20 in the game clock. Tony Akins against Julius Barnes.
And you got a big scoop if he doesn't win the Heisman.
Akins got it.
Tony Akins with a good shot. So he didn't force that action. Took a good shot. Was Mr. Basketball in Georgia. Beat out D.A. Lane for that, who now starts for Jimmy Herrick and the Bulldogs.
Mendez trying to get a shot off before the buzzer. Off the glass. Akins a rebound. Tech will lead at halftime after going 2 different spurts of over 5 minutes and over 4 minutes without points at all. Amazingly enough, they lead at intermission. Georgia Tech 24, third-ranked Stanford 23. As we head back to the studio and Brian Kenny. Brian.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. Back here now, it's the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Hi, everybody. Get that out. It's early for me, too. We've got much more coming your way, more from Dickie V as well. He's got the all-ER team, the guys who are hurt. That's including Mark Madsen. And we've got some highlights as well. Notre Dame out on the floor. A little trouble getting there, but we'll talk about that when we come back.
The Stanford Cardinal, kind of amazing. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale as we come back. Georgia Tech had one stretch. They went 5 minutes, 15 seconds without a point. Another one over 4.5 minutes without a point. They got a 1-point lead.
Why don't you and I go out there and shoot? It's been horrendous shooting the basketball. I mean, the big guys have negated themselves. And you look at the three-point line, for example, Stanford's 1 for 10. An amazingly tough defensive battle. Stanford's got the better edge on the glass. 8 offensive rebounds to only 1 for Georgia Tech. but I'm telling you something, execution and certainly shooting the basketball non-existent here today.
Let's take a look at the first half statistics, our 10-10-9000 first half stats. You can see what Dick's talking about. 26% from the floor for Stanford, and that 1 for 10 outside the three-point arc. And if they had not shot some free throws, it would have been even uglier. But they did have an 8-rebound advantage over Georgia Tech. Here's the negating the big guys, as Dick talked about. 6 points for Jason, only 1 for Jaron, and on a free throw. And for Georgia Tech, Jason Collier and Alvin Jones, the Tech Titans. Collier hit a 3 and had a couple of baskets inside and 6 rebounds. Not a bad half. Alvin Jones had 4 rebounds, only 2 points. I thought he played rather scrappily, though, on defense, which kind of helped Tech's cause a little bit.
He's got to get some touches, though. 1 for 2 doesn't get it for a low post player inside. And the same with Jason Collins. He's got to get some touches inside. I mean, the bottom line is you got to take advantage of the big people and start your offense from inside and then bring the ball out to the perimeter.
There's Georgia Tech's problem. Their best shooter is wearing an assistant coach's outfit there. Mark Price in the middle of the huddle.
Wow.
One of the great players ever at Georgia Tech.
They retired his jersey in 2 places, here and
Cleveland.
Cavaliers.
That's right.
9 years, played with our buddy Brad Daugherty.
Brad Daugherty, I believe, is getting his jersey retired tonight by
wow.
Cleveland. So
congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations to Brad. Certainly was a superstar. Back injuries curtailed his growth career-wise. I think this is a must game for Georgia Tech.
Now this shooting wasn't bad.
Hey, look at this one-eyed ball-headed guy knocking him down. You tried to block my shot too. You came out and tried to block it.
Yeah, that was the only one that was ever a question.
I mean, he tried to block my shot.
You had it going.
I was rolling.
Yeah.
I was rolling.
You like the lighting in this new arena, don't you?
I like the touch. I like the lighting. I like the feel.
You did hit 1 3, didn't you?
Yeah.
You hit as many threes as Stanford did in the first half.
Once a shooter, always a shooter. It's like riding a bicycle.
Okay, underway, second half. Stanford packs it inside of Jason Collins. Nice job by Jones to bring him away from the basket.
Jones gives you that dimension, that shot blocking ability, that's psychologically such an edge, just like Kenyon Martin does, the human eraser for Cincinnati.
That comes out. Good defense to start the second half. Jaron Collins, hook. Alvin Jones, the rebound.
Good execution, though. High percentage shot. That's the system of Stanford. Get the ball inside. But you got to convert those when you get it that deep.
Collier wants it down low. They don't get it there.
You should have had it.
Now they finally do. And he scores and a chance for a three-point play.
I'll tell you one thing, Brad. I've been watching him today, and he has been working hard trying to get the ball inside. They don't deliver the rock at the right time to him. Take a look. Freeze it right here. See it right here. He's trying to get post position. He's going to come here once the ball comes here and gets that angle. Watch this right here. Now look, freeze it. See, once he gets it in here, he's got him right here. Drop step to the basket. It's a deuce.
And that's all it is a deuce. He missed the free throw. But Georgia Tech has its biggest lead of the ball game. And a block shot by Collier. Tried to get the second one, and Jaron Collins too quickly got the jump on it.
I'll tell you one thing. The Stanford kids, as I talked about a little bit earlier, are always in the right position on the offside for rebound. And that's why they're an outstanding rebounding team.
Whistle and a foul inside. That's going to be on Jason Collins.
Yeah, Jason got that foul right there. You know, you give Stanford and the job that Mike Montgomery's done, his 14th year in a farm. I mean, it's incredible when you look at his numbers, 7 NCAA bids.
Alvin Jones almost with an up and down there. His feet were big enough that he stayed on the balls of his feet, apparently, on his tiptoes. Here's Collier, ran it in and leaned too much. Offensive foul.
Yeah, Brian Kersey with the ball backed in, but they'd rather see him at least making the effort to go inside. You know, I talked about Mike Montgomery. They lost that overtimer in the semifinals of the Final Four in '98. It was a tough basketball game, and that's the year that Tubby Smith won that national championship in '98, beating Utah.
26-25 is our score. It's wrong in the arena. They finally just changed it. Both scoreboards did not have, all three scoreboards didn't have Jaron Collins' last basket. They do now. Ooh, there's a pick and a half. Both guys bounced off it.
They're doing a good job, though, showing, stepping out, giving some help, Georgia Tech.
Stanford could lead again, but not this trip, as just like the last trip down, Jason Collins this time trying to get offensive position, and he hip checks Collier out of the way to pick up his second foul.
I'm going to take a look right here. Freeze it right here. See him setting the screen? Now this guy's got to step out and show. Here it is right now.
Both these guys bounce off that one.
Yes, sir. Good job of showing what we call hedging, helping out. What we don't see in this game, any transition basketball.
Right, nothing at all. There has not been a fast break point, I don't believe. Collier on a hook.
I'll tell you, I like him when he's inside, Brad. He's got a nice touch. He's got good skills. And then add that little jump shot occasionally from up on top, but he should work more on the interior.
28-25, checked by 3. There's another pick. Tony Akins got around that one, but McDonald got around Akins.
Nice drive by McDonald, a little stutter step. See, one of the reasons we don't see a lot of transition basketball, you got to credit that to Stanford, the way they control rhythm and tempo. They did the same in beating Auburn and Cliff Ellis's club.
Collier inside again.
I'll tell you, they can't let him get the ball inside that deep. He's got the good touch. I'll tell you, his stock to me today has gone up from what I anticipated.
13 for Jason Collier, 13 of Georgia Tech's 30.
I mean, that's almost 50% of the points. That's like 46%.
There you go with your math again. I've had a week-long math session from you. Nice feed inside, Collins to Collins.
Oh, nice high-low entry, good execution. That's classic high post, low post entry.
Jason the pass, Jaron the basket. Boyd's been kept in check pretty much since early in the ball game when he hit a deuce and a 3. Tony Akins backpedaling, setting the play at the point for Georgia Tech.
Both clubs really using that shot clock, playing patience, playing a lot of poised basketball.
Fine packs it inside to Jones. His baseline jump off the mark. Mendez will clear it. Each team with their starting 5 on the floor right now. Mendez in the paint. Did he get the roll? No. And foul on Jason Collier. Try to stay with Jason Collins.
We're going to watch a little high-low entry right now. Freeze it right here. See, he's looking already down to his brother. There it is. There's the entry. Good job. Good bounce pass. Good fundamental. Squares his body on a baseline.
Georgia Tech has to be careful now because their top player, Jason Collier, has 3 fouls. Bobby Cremins knows that, and he's got somebody at the scorer's table trying to get in there for him.
And he also went to the zone to try and protect them.
McDonald missed the 3. Alvin Jones, another rebound. Jones with 5 boards today. Fine on the other end. Still trying to snap that slump he's in.
I'll tell you one thing. He came here with a big-time reputation as a perimeter jump shooter, a 3-point shooter, but really struggling. See, right now, I'd attack Collier. I would attack Collier. I wouldn't even waste time. I just clear out that side and go to Collins. Bring it to him. Try and get that 4th.
Jason Collins inside. There's the matchup Dick's talking about.
I'll take it to the basket.
Collier knows he has to be careful, and that shot rattled out, and Alvin Jones another rebound.
See, I thought he drifted a little bit. I would have taken it right at Jason rather than fall away.
They're banging on the other end. Tech moves it around the perimeter. Floyd backpedals for a jumper and got it.
Looks like he's got the touch today, just not getting enough shots.
Georgia Tech again by 3 with 15 to play with Dick Vitale. I'm Brad Nessler from Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, on a beautiful Saturday outside, and the game warming up a little bit on the inside.
I would again go inside. We're not going to zone right now. They're going to zone to try and protect Collier.
Here's Mosley. 3, got it.
Tough to zone this club. They put Mendez on one side, Mosley on the other. They get into gaps, and they can knock the trifecta down.
And Stanford ties it with Mosley. A couple of 3s today. That one evens it at 32. Collier will try a triple. Floyd. Call over the back, I think, on Jason Floyd.
See, I think the opposition would like to see Collier shoot that 3 to get him away from the basket.
14:27 remaining in the ball game. Stanford and Georgia Tech tied at 32. Tie game, 14:27 to play. Jason Collier probably won't come out of this huddle, but he certainly came out of the locker room at halftime fired up, Dick.
Yeah, he really did. Look at his low post play right there. Good drop step to the basket. And again goes inside with the little jump hook on the baseline. I'm going to watch him in the lane now. He is skilled. I'll tell you, he's got great offensive skills and touch. It's just that he has to get a little more aggressive, want the ball inside, but there's no doubt he's going to make money at the next level.
That 3rd cheap foul on about 3 trips down ago for Stanford is the reason he's on the bench. He'd probably get a breather somewhere in this stretch anyway. We'll see how long Bobby Cremins leaves him over there. So the lineup changes considerably. Clarence Moore in there along with Babel and Akins, Alvin Jones, and Fine, who's on Mike McDonald for Stanford.
Now the big question is, where does Georgia Tech get offense? That means Alvin Jones steps up on the inside, has to score for them.
Orchard had it blocked by Jones. Collins had it blocked by Jones. He's still working for it, and he drew a foul.
I thought it was a great effort. Most guys, after it was blocked, like it was by Alvin Jones, would have shied away, but he came back for the second or third time. Look at him right here. Now, there he is with that great effort inside. Harvard Westlake High School down in the LA area. Outstanding private school.
Alvin Jones, 268 career block shots, and did it in just 60 games. He broke the school record, which was held by John Sally for many years.
John Sally making a living again, playing with the Lakers. Wow, Phil Jackson, he's over there. Wow, with that triangle.
He's done everything. Entertainment TV, NBA TV, and now back playing ball again.
Well, he likes it on his Showtime. Oh, he misses both free throws.
And Alvin Jones with 7 rebounds. Akins, there's some of the offense. There it is.
Yeah, he's got to step it up on the perimeter now. He's a scoring guard. He's not really what you call a true point guard. He's got scoring ability. They're trying to pick up the tempo, pressure a little bit up top.
Akins smiling at McDonald. Those two have been going head-to-head all day. And here's Collins taking the outside jumper. Not probably what Mike Montgomery would like to see. That shot probably would have been taken by Sean Fine if he was any kind of shooting streak, but he thinks he's in a negative one, and he didn't want to take it.
Good call right there, Brad. No doubt about it. That's a confidence factor right there.
Here's a couple freshmen going at each other. And the rebound, Jaron Collins.
Just kick up points on the board quickly.
Jacobson partially blocked underneath, and then a nice job by Fine to bounce it off Borchard's feet and out of bounds. Georgia Tech will have the ball.
I'll tell you one thing, Georgia Tech kids have come out here today and are really hustling and scrapping. There's the scorer.
Babel blocked that shot.
Yeah, Babel, a tough defensive player against that prolific scorer out of high school, Casey Jacobson.
Babel down low to Jones. Waiting for somebody to clear out. He'll try the hook shot again. Lost it going up. Ball loose. Tony Akins finds a handle. And almost had it go. Jones goes back up strong, and Borchard got him.
Well, at least he's working on the inside, but now he's going to have to earn these on a free throw line.
Bobby Cremins happy with the hustle of his team. I want to remind you, join Chris Lee and Kirk from the Downtown Athletic Club in New York City tonight on ESPN. It's the Heisman Trophy presentation presented by Wendy's tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. Of course, Ron Dane, Joe Hamilton from Georgia Tech, considered one of the front runners. Joe won the Dave O'Brien Award. Davey O'Brien Award is the nation's top quarterback. And that is the first, you believe this, that's the first major football award ever won by a Georgia Tech player when he won the Davey O'Brien Award the other night.
Unbelievable. I didn't know that. He had a great year, though. Hamilton was sensational.
Rebound, Jaron Collins. And here's Mosley, who got free, and Babel pinned it against the glass.
I'll tell you, Babel doing a good job defensively. He's an all-Rambo man. Came off the bench, gave the crowd a square.
Oh, and more of the jam.
Oh, more with the jam, but the defensive effort by the Rambo man, Babel. Yeah, show some emotion, get some life in this building.
Biggest lead of the ball game by Georgia Tech, up by 5. McDonald had it stripped by Tony Akins, but a foul. John Babel blocked Casey Jacobson 2 trips down court, and then the last trip down court did this to Mosley.
Now look at Babel right now. He knows his strength, his defense, has the good angle for the shot block, and then they create it. They take the block shot, and they create it through a jam, baby. Up, up, and away. Moore with the masher.
The man they call Mo, Clarence Moore, excites the crowd and gives Georgia Tech a 5-point lead.
He gives them some Mo, too, some momentum.
That's right.
Uncle Mo's on their side.
They're hoping for some Mo during the course of the game. 12:05 remaining.
Tough defensive effort today we're seeing out of these Georgia Tech kids.
Stanford's had a drought in the first half. Georgia Tech had 2, but now the Cardinals stuck in another one here in the second half.
ACC, Pac-10, a lot of pride at stake. Georgia Tech losing 3 in a row. Stanford number 3 in America, unbeaten.
Jacobson tried to work for a shot, and foul on the move.
Jacobson's just got that great ability to score. You see it when he catches the ball, gets into triple threat position.
11:50 remaining in the ball game. Georgia Tech now has pushed it out to a 5-point advantage. 32. Georgia Tech leading, 11:50 to go. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale back with you in Atlanta. You know, we've seen a lot of good basketball interconference play so far this year, and this is another good one.
Yeah, really good battle right now, and I like that. We don't have all these cupcakes that we had early in the season, all those bargain basement goodies. I used to play on cupcakes when I was at Detroit. I didn't even want to play against you and 4 of your buddies.
That's right.
To get a win. But it's great to see this, and I'll tell you something, in the Pac-10 this year, what a race it's going to be. UCLA and Arizona are going to be outstanding, and Stanford's going to be right in the hunt all year long.
And for the ACC, of course, North Carolina and Duke always there. Maryland after a sensational season last year. And the team that's going to play here in the second half of what is a doubleheader at Phillips Arena. Look out for Wake Forest and Dave Odom, his club playing Georgia, Jim Herrick Bulldogs after this one.
Well, talking to Barry Jacobs, who does a great study of the ACC, he told me right now Wake Forest, he believes, is the best team in the conference.
Orchard, nice move in the paint. Collier can only partially defend. He knows he's got foul trouble, but give Curtis Orchard credit for that one.
I think Borchard's going to be a special player.
Oh, Collier had it blocked by Borchard.
I think Borchard's going to be a special player in that Stanford uniform. Once he gets a little stronger physically.
Jacobson squares and delivers a three.
Well, you know he can do that. The two diaper dandies have stepped up, Borchard and Jacobson.
Just like that, we're tied at 37. Just when Tech had given itself a little breathing room, Stanford answers with Borchard first in the paint and then Jacobson outside. Mosley's going to get caught for his third foul.
Jacobson hit some big shots against Duke when they made that comeback to beat Duke, and then he also came up big with an unbelievable spurt against Iowa. Then he got an article in Sports Illustrated, and the next game, Lute Olson tells me, hey, your boy Jacobson that you made big, you checked the stats out? I checked them out. University of California, Santa Barbara, 0 for 7.
Oh, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, it really does. Usually it's shot selection when that happens.
Moore trying to low post Jacobson right now. Got him in there and Jones out of the lineup. Collier back in.
Collier really trying to work hard to get position inside.
Well, he and Borchard tangled up in there.
Yeah, Borchard doesn't have the kind of body strength when he's battling.
And on the entry pass, Mosley kicked it. That's a fresh shot clock for Georgia Tech.
You know Borchard's going to get that strength. His dad played in the NFL, was a lineman.
Yeah, 9 years with Buffalo and Seattle from the late 70s through about 87.
Look at him working inside. Collier trying to get that post position inside. Borchard playing that good defense.
And they had a whistle and a foul.
23. Hit it.
It'll be on Jacobson.
You know, it's so unbelievable. You and I were talking off the air. Here's Bobby Cremins, who does a fantastic job for so many years. But in coaching today, it's everything is, what have you done for me today? It's never about what your resume looks like over the long haul, because his resume, as he makes that free throw, Collier, over the long haul is so impressive. I called him the Frank Lloyd Wright. I never thought anybody would be able to step into this program and challenge Carolina and Duke, and he did.
Yes, he did. 3 ACC titles. 15.6 rebounds for Jason Collier. Alvin Jones comes back in. Jason goes out with those 3 fouls. They're going to continue to platoon those 2 guys as much as possible. Tech by 2.
Smart coaching decision right there, trying to milk as many minutes as he can by rotating Jones and Collier.
Joe Bacchini down playing the point for Stanford. Here's Borchard outside.
Not good. He didn't get a good release there. That was not a good shot.
Babel shags it down. TJ Vines ahead to Moore, who's going to cross court it. There's a wide open look to find. He still can't find it from outside, but he got it back.
It's amazing because you watch him in practice and you know he can stroke the jump shot.
Absolutely.
Averaged 20 points a game at Stonehill, Division II basketball.
Gives it right back inside Alvin Jones. Nice steal in the lane, but he lost it going up. Got it back. Still can't score. Will he get another chance? How about one more?
Wow, but at least he's hustling. At least he's really clawing and scrapping inside.
He just upped his rebound total, but he hasn't upped his point total, and Jacobson comes up with a steal.
Good anticipation by Jacobson, showing his athletic ability.
Mosley, quick move to the baseline. Ooh, air ball. Bad one. Babel pulls it off the backside.
We got ourselves a mailbox smasher. This baby may go down to the wire.
39-37, Georgia Tech by 2. They've led by as many as 5.
Patience right now. Patience, poise, and points.
Vines missed the 3. Jones keeps it alive and threw it away. Mosley on the run against Vines, leaves it for Jacobson.
What a nice play by Mosley. Under control, catches the trailer. You young kids out there, learn to communicate. Let your guy know that you're trailing the play.
now we're tied again. Under 9 minutes now. Jones out to Babel. Gave up an open shot. I personally think Babel should shoot more, but he just doesn't. Jones in low. Borchard blocked it, but fouled it.
Borchard gets the foul. He's got a smile on his face. They say he's always smiling. Played in high school over in Washington. As you look at Mike Montgomery, he's not smiling too much today. See, I don't like their defensive effort, but not the way they're executing offensively. Now we watch the ball thrown inside to the big guy. There's Borchard. Ooh, where's the contact?
Jones will go to the line.
They say he's always smiling. He said, I even smile when things aren't going well.
Alvin Jones 1 for 2 today from the free throw line, but a guy that over his career is right about 50%. But Mark Price has worked effortlessly with him and worked out his free throw shooting.
What a great teacher to have a guy like Mark Price working with you. And what an addition to the staff. Such a clean-cut, classy guy.
Mark working with Alvin Jones has upped his free throw percentage to 72% coming into this one, but he's missed the last 2. Only 3 points today, but 11 big rebounds. There's Mark Price, the NBA's all-time leading free throw shooter, over 90%, 90.4.
Wow, great story, too, because a lot of people didn't think he could play at the next level.
That's right.
And all he did is become an all-star. Nothing like having some heart and some guts and belief.
Absolutely. Jovicini working against Akins. Jason Collins high and Jaron Collins low.
They like to reverse the ball. They get good angles on entries. They like to swing it side to side.
10 on the shot clock.
I love the teaching ability of Mr. Montgomery. He's always putting a clinic on.
Jason Collins 5 on the shot clock. Somebody's going to have to put one up. Collins missed outside. Jacobson kept it alive underneath, though. And he's mugged as he tried to go back up with it.
I'll tell you, what a great effort by Jacobson right there. I mean, Coach Montgomery's got to be excited about the future with Borchard and certainly Jacobson. And they got a kid sitting out by the name of Justin Davis who's going to be sensational. Look at Jacobson working on the inside. Look at him right there, very active. This kid, Justin Davis, I met him before the game. Powerful kid. The only reason they're sitting him out is because of Madsen being there. And I know UCLA.
So much the same kind of player.
Yeah, UCLA wanted him badly.
There's Mad Dog.
I mean, it's pretty nice that you can go out and win your games and play without your All-American.
Absolutely. 11 points now for the freshman Jacobson. And Stanford's back in front.
I'll tell you, Jacobson just has a nose how to score, whether it be from the perimeter, whether it be driving to the basket.
Georgia Tech may have to get Collier back in there pretty soon, probably after the next time out, because now they have gone from a 5-point lead to trailing by a point.
I agree with you. I don't think they can be waiting a long time here. This game, they're capable of throwing in a couple of threes and not getting that lead, Stanford.
Floyd got it just inside the three-point line.
That'll help you now keep Collier out of the game as long as you stay up on top.
Tech will try a little full-court pressure here as they go back in front by 1. Jovicini, they clear it out for him. They'll work against Tony Akins.
Comes from a great basketball family. Dad, uncle, both good college players.
Collins, they're going to leave him alone. They shouldn't have.
Yeah, he could shoot that ball. That's what I'm talking about. The one Collins that you can invert, go bring him inside and outside.
So Jason's got 8.
Oh, I messed up. That was Jason. He's normally a power guy.
That's right.
Jaron's the guy that usually goes inside, outside. I got the wrong twin.
You got to think long hair, short hair.
Wow. Or no hair.
Tony Akins, 3. Got it.
I'll tell you one thing about Akins today. He was 4 for 15 against Georgia. Took some bad shots, according to people that seen that game. Today, he's not taking bad shots, Brad. He's really playing under control.
Seesaw battle. Tech back in front. That outside jumper by Jovicini doesn't go. And Akins goes down hard on the rebound. Mendez, I don't really think even saw him, ran him over.
I thought it's a big game for Bobby Crimmins. You've lost 3 games in a row. You're at home. You lose to your intrastate rival, Georgia. You get beat by Michigan right here in Atlanta. You lose to the finals of the Great Alaska Shootout to Kansas. And now you're playing a team that's number 3 in America. This is a way you can build confidence if you can get this W.
No doubt about that. Tony Akins to the free throw line. 72% on the year. Out of Berkmar High School, right up the road in Lilburn.
Yeah, it was Mr. Basketball. DA Lane out for that title, as we said. Georgia will be playing next against Wake Forest. Davey Odom, what a club he's got. 12 points, under control, 3 assists, 3 rebounds for the little guy as well.
He's really improved his turnover to assist ratio as well this year, and he hits both free throws. And Georgia Tech goes back in front by 4 with 6:37 to play. And Buzz has found a dance partner here at Phillips Arena. Georgia Tech 47-43, and Georgia Tech seems to have found a little spark as well, Dick, in the second half.
They really did it with great defense by Babel, who did a tremendous job. As we're going to see right now, jump shot from the wing by Floyd. There's the defense by Babel, and they create the defense to the offense. They throw it down to Moore for a jam, and the bench likes it. Oh, wow.
And that brings us to our Heineken storyline. 30% from the field is all for Stanford. The Collins twins a double-double, but that's just between them. And Georgia Tech in the second half is warmed up, and Collier and Jones have combined for a 19-17 double-double. Georgia Tech leads by 4, but Stanford has shown that they're very capable in a hurry of not only coming back but regaining the lead, which they did a couple of minutes ago. Jacobson bumped by Vines.
He's got that slashing ability as well as the ability to shoot the 3. He really is always attacking the defensive player.
J.J. Vines wasn't crazy about the call, nor was his coach.
I think you couldn't go wrong. Your choice is either Dunleavy or Jacobson. How could you go wrong?
That's right.
And that's what Stanford and Duke in essence had. They were both recruiting both guys heavily, and once one made a decision, Dunleavy to go to Duke, and that opened the door for Jacobson to say, well, I'm staying in California, I'm going to Stanford.
Jacobson's got 12 points to go with 5 rebounds off the bench.
Not bad choices to have, huh?
That's right.
Those 2 schools.
Short on the second one a little bit, and Floyd got the rebound. So it's Tech by 3 with 6:13 remaining in the ballgame. Akins penetrates and leaves it for Collier, and Mendez got a hand on it from behind, I think, to knock it out of there.
You know, one of the toughest things for a kid to do in basketball, I think, is to adjust to try to be a point guard. When you've been a scorer all your life, like Akins and Jason Williams at Duke, and all of a sudden trying to learn how to be a point guard. And I could see that today, that he's trying to be a point guard.
6:08 remaining as Georgia Tech takes a quick timeout. They lead by 3. More hoop action tonight coming up 7 o'clock Eastern on the Deuce. We mentioned Larry Conley was in South Florida, and he'll be part of the Wisconsin-South Florida matchup on ESPN2. Then at 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN from Cole Fieldhouse, number 22 Kentucky, number 19 Maryland. We'll have at it. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Kentucky and Maryland will be a rematch of a game from earlier this year. You mentioned how huge this could be for Georgia Tech. They haven't beat a team this highly ranked since '94. They beat number 1 North Carolina. They got number 3 Stanford a little bit on the ropes anyway.
Oh, yeah, they really do. They got a great chance, as we see right here, to win this basketball game if they can continue to get execution. If Akins makes the good pass, dumps the ball inside to the big guys, I think they got a great chance to win.
See if they can get Collier back in the mix. He's been sitting with the foul trouble. They tried to get it to him. Nice job by Jaron Collins to knock it out of there as Tech turns it over.
Yeah, Collins did a great job with the deflection, anticipated that pass, and Collier didn't step to the basketball.
Collins on the other end kicks it out to Mosley.
Mosley capable of hitting a 3.
Couple good outside scorers in there right now, Mosley and Jacobson. Jason Collins against Jones, and a blocking foul on Alvin Jones, and now he's got 3.
Foul shots becomes big now. You got to convert on that free throw line. We talk about special teams in football, special situations in college basketball. Make free throws, attack pressure defenses. I'll take a look right here. He's going to try to drop step along the baseline. Oh, there's the little bump, a little bump, a little dance, a little Lawrence Welk special right there, a little shuffle.
Stanford will be going to the free throw line for the 15th time. Believe it or not, talk about free throws down the stretch. Both these teams came in averaging 68.3% from the free throw line, exactly alike. So we'll see how it goes down the stretch.
Stanford's the kind of club that doesn't blow you out. They're a kind of club that's going to win a lot of games and close basketball games because they're not just running up and down the floor. They're executing.
3 wins over teams in the past month for the Cardinal that were ranked at the time in the top 10.
Remember, they haven't played in 2 weeks. It's been finals.
That's what I said to you before the game. Yeah. They had a little bit of a break if you consider finals at Stanford a break the last couple of weeks.
They took some finals here yesterday and they faxed them back to the school.
Not bad. Yeah. Technology. Georgia Tech clinging to a 1-point lead, trying to get it to Jason Collier, who just dominated the early going of this second half.
And the other thing about this club is they never allow you to get away from them. Bad entry right there, not good execution. Stanford's always hanging around. And Bobby Cremins, fine guard when he played for the late Frank McGuire, came out of New York City, All Hallows High School.
McDonald slows it down as he'll come up against Sean Fine. Stanford again at the 5-minute mark, a chance to take the lead again. Try to go back toward Jacobson. Swing it around to Mosley from outside. Rebound Collier. That rebound may get him more involved. Just get his hands on the ball again.
Now they got to get some touches for him inside. He's got to throw it and slide down to the post. They couldn't handle him inside. He had that spurt earlier where he was really so effective down on low blocks.
He had 6 points in about 3 minutes to start the second.
Yeah, and he can't worry about the foul situation. He's just got to play.
4.5 to go. You do have to forget about it. Fine got himself in low and had to bring it back outside to Akins. Now Fine. Nope. Floyd instead. Floyd missed a three.
Did a good job with the extra pass right there by Fine.
Jacobson for the lead.
He's just got that nose to score. I love him. I think he's one of the premier freshmen in America, one of the premier diaper dandies. Casey Jacobson's going to be a star.
Second 1-point lead of this half for the Stanford Cardinal.
You just feel when he touches the ball, something's going to happen in a positive way.
He has 14 points in the ball game and has given his team a 1-point lead again.
And the coach has a lot of faith in him now he's on the floor late in the game.
Alvin Jones trying to kick it outside, threw it away again.
Give it to Jacobson. Give it to Jacobson.
And he gives it right
nice
back to Mosley.
What a great look by Jacobson, showing how unselfish he is.
Georgia Tech, 2 horrendous turnovers the last 2 trips down court have cost them the lead, and now they trail by 3.
Now we get to a situation where one team knows how to win late and another team that has not proven yet they can win late in close games. Now take a look right here. There's Jacobson with the score. He's going to take it up, slide, glide, splits the 2 defenders.
Didn't rush that, just waited until they flew by him, and then this next time he's out on the wing and gives it right back to Mosley.
That's like a 2-on-1 fast break situation that you drill on every day in practice. Give the ball up to the cutter, stay a little wider than the foul line so that one guy cannot play 2 people. See, here's where you earn the kind of confidence in your players by being able to get them to respond and to win close games.
Right.
Because you know, kids, when you lose close games, who do you think they're going to blame? They're going to blame that they take a bad shot? They're going to blame that they missed the layup? No, it's going to be coach, baby, coach.
Stanford scored 7 straight in the last 3 minutes.
And you know who the guys are going to blame that banged the typewriters, don't you?
Coach.
Coach.
7-0 run. Floyd for 3. And he's fouled, and he's going to the free throw line for 3.
That's a silly foul right there by the freshman Jacobson. That's a big-time mistake. Or was it Mosley?
Mosley.
Mosley, yep. Mosley.
Jason Floyd hasn't missed a free throw yet this year. Not to put any pressure on him. 4 for 4. Mike Montgomery, the bench is hearing about that one, and it was out on the floor that Mosley had the cheap foul from 3-point land.
And that was way beyond the 3-point line. That had no shot really going down, basically. Finally missed him. You jinxed him. You jinxed him.
6'6" senior who lived a lot of places. His dad, a retired U.S. Army man, lived in Korea and Germany before finally calling Hampton, Georgia home. Played at Lovejoy High School. Up the road a piece. Try to make it a 1-point game if he can hit this 3rd of 3 free throws.
This is the kind of game will drive a coach nuts. The mailbox comes out, the stomach is beginning to churn. And you're Bobby Cremins, you lost 3 in a row. You know you need it.
It's a 1-point game with 3:26 to play. Phillips Arena in Atlanta, where Georgia Tech trails 3rd-ranked Stanford 50-49, 3:26 remaining, and Stanford has dominated off their bench. Most of that's Casey Jacobson with 14.
Doesn't really shock me at all because Stanford goes to their bench a little bit more and has a few more guys that can produce off that bench, and Mike Montgomery uses the bench really wisely. Hey, do you know the first game he ever coached at Stanford?
Against Georgia
Tech. He lost that game, and that was in the middle 80s. That must have been during the Price, Dalrymple, Farrell, Joseph, Sally. I love that team.
It was 14 years ago, and somebody asked Mike about it yesterday, and he said, I don't remember much about the game. I just know we lost. They lost 67-65 in that game. And a lot has happened in 14 years. Really one of the premier coaches now in college basketball, a guy on the Stanford bench.
If you ask his peers, I mean, all his peers will tell you the guy is outstanding. But if you ask the general public, a lot of people don't know about him. But the only thing that counts
Too many West Coast games.
Yeah, well, that's right. Too many West Coast games. The only thing that counts is boss knows he's good, and they write the check out, and they love him down at the Stanford at the Forum.
There's a kid we talked about that's done most of the damage off the bench, Casey Jacobson, the freshman out of Glendora, California. Georgia Tech, a little token backcourt pressure here.
And they don't have the kind of club that can go out and pressure. And now with guys like Collier on the floor, they don't really have the kind of speed and quickness to be able to pressure all over.
Now it's down to hustle and who wants it more and who can hit a big shot when they need it, or maybe the free throw.
And who executes really better down the stretch.
Jaron Collins cut off of the pass by Collier, gets it to brother Jason. 5 on the shot clock. Mosley slices in, dishes underneath, and a whistle and a foul with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Tech did a nice job defensively until they absolutely had to hammer somebody.
And they do such a great job creating the opportunity, though, Stanford with the good interior passing. Now watch right here. There's a little dump off inside. See how they always have guys stationed on the 2 low blocks and a guy high. They're always in what they call a triangle and have effective people in the right places. That's coaching.
Jaron Collins is probably not a guy that Tech would worry about at the free throw line as much, and he drills it just when I say that. He'd had trouble so far today.
Well, I figured maybe their rhythm would be off not playing in 2 weeks, but and they're on the road, as we said earlier, 3-hour time difference. Got a lot of factors really that can prevail, but young people are resilient.
Collins second, and that one rimmed around and dropped through for him, so he got them both. And it gives Stanford a 3-point lead again. We're under 3 minutes.
Now it's getting down to where you got to make this possession count. Collier's got to get some touches.
And it's stripped by Collins and got it back.
He was much more effective when he was inside than playing up here up top. He's looking for a 3. They want to.
Floyd's going to try a 3. Off the heel of the iron, and a whistle and a foul on Jason Collier underneath.
Yeah, Jason was playing on the outside offensively, was hoping for the 3, setting a screen and then popping out after the screen.
So that's 4 fouls on Collier, and they'll walk the other way. And now Georgia Tech might just see this game slip away from the free throw line without themselves ever getting to the free throw line.
Hey, mentioning Collier, you think of Indiana. Indiana's undefeated right now.
That's right.
I just see the jump shot from the corner, and here comes Collier right down. Oh, you can't get away with that. You can't get away with that. There's no way. Saying, who, me? Are you serious? But, you know, Indiana, a lot of people thought they would struggle this year. They beat Missouri, came all the way from behind, down 16. Got a win over Kentucky, Temple.
Jaron Collins, who missed so much time with injuries. Act his brother did. He missed some time with an ankle sprain last year.
Yeah, his brother had a knee problem, knee surgery, and then he had the broken wrist last year. Was injured in the first early in the season against George Washington. See, now right there, he was wide open and didn't get the ball, Collier.
And again, Jason Collins does a great job defensively. Georgia Tech's turnovers have killed them this half.
This game has come down in the last 4 minutes to better defensive effort by Stanford and a better job of executing in Georgia Tech down the stretch.
And we'll be under 2 minutes the next time the Cardinal puts a shot up. As we are right now.
Jacobson really getting the tribute from his coach that he's on the floor late in the game.
10 on the shot clock. They're not concerned about that. They want to use as much clock as possible and get as good a shot as possible.
You know, these kids got a basketball IQ.
Alvin Jones a rebound. Georgia Tech needs a hoop badly.
Man, it's a big possession. It's vital right now. Get it to Collier.
He works inside. Left-handed hook goes.
Hello, hello. His name is Jason Collier. He can score inside. Georgia Tech, you got to get him to rock, baby.
They spend way too much time dribbling and not enough bounce passes inside to Collier. And a timeout taken by Stanford.
I tell you, he looks big time inside. We saw him in that one spurt. He was so effective.
1:16 remaining in the ball game. Stanford leading by 2.
Hey, good. It's an all-out war.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Heineken. It's all about the beer, Heineken. And by Subaru. Only Subaru puts full-time all-wheel drive on every car they make. Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
1:16 remaining in regulation. Stanford leading by 2. You might have heard Bobby Crimmins as we went to the billboard say it's an all-out war now, guys. And Collier is one of the warriors for Georgia Tech. They've got to get it in his hands in this ball game down the stretch to have a chance to win.
I'll tell you one thing, he responded to the challenge. I'm a little surprised, Brad, that they didn't attack Collier from the offside and not allow him to get in the lane like that. I mean, someone giving help, knowing how effective he is coming across that lane with that left hand.
Stanford with a lead in the ball and just over a minute left. Mosley was open. He didn't take it. Jaron Collins on a fade in the lane, and he got it.
Well, good move by Collins. He knows that Collier's got 4, so he goes right inside. And I mean, he is a bright kid. You talk about he and his brother. They have it together. They'll be great role models for young people.
Jaron Collins with 10 points, none bigger than that last basket. Georgia Tech cannot afford to take too much time getting a shot off because it's a 2-possession situation. They want to get it to Collier. Collins is trying to prevent it.
He was open a moment ago, and they didn't see him at the right time.
Block shot by Jason Collins.
Jason says, get it out of here, little guy. You can't bring it in the lane.
Got it. Another block shot. And only 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
We talked about it earlier, how they seem to have a way to always find to win these close games. And when they get Madsen, I mean, I can't emphasize enough to people what we're talking about. He's just not another role player.
No, he's not. He's something else.
I mean, he's a top 10 player in the country. Physical presence inside is special. Look at him cheering here, just like Cleaves. We saw Coach Cleaves.
2 huge block shots. Akins couldn't get it to Collier, so he penetrated, tried to get one on the inside, as you'll see right here.
All right, I'm going to watch Jason operating on the inside. There's the block shot by Jason Collins. He said, little guy, you have no shot bringing it here. And then he's going to do it one more time. He's going to say, hey, no, that's his brother.
Right.
That's his brother.
He's got one.
Yes, sir. He said, anything you can do, Jason, I can do better.
Well, those guys born 8 minutes apart. And Jason Collins, the older by 8 minutes. And after he was born, the Collins family did not know that Jaron was still there, and they said, excuse me, Miss Collins, we're not done yet. How can you have 2 guys that grow up to be 7 feet tall and 250 pounds?
Wow.
You didn't know they were both in there.
I'll tell you one thing that's not fair. That's a great story. But you know it's not fair? That we got these 2 guys out of here, and me with one eye. I don't know who's who, baby. I'm looking at those numbers like crazy.
27.5 seconds left, and now Stanford wanted to see what Georgia Tech was going to show, and then they'll take another timeout right here with 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, you know, you look at Stanford, we talk about Palo Alto. What a great athletic program. Every year they win that trophy, the Sears Trophy.
Overall sports excellence. Coming up next on ESPN, college football, Division II championship. Carson Newman and Northwest Missouri State will follow our game. We wish those 2 the best of luck. Bobby Crimmins trying to diagram a miracle here. His team's down by 4. It's a 2-possession game with 27.5 to go.
What's amazing, as you just mentioned, coming up that Division II championship, they could have playoffs in Division II, but they can't in Division I. Why? As you take a look right here at the Twin Towers.
Almost twin numbers.
Yeah, almost twin numbers.
10-5, 10-7, both with 3 field goals.
Now I can see why UCLA wanted him so badly.
Yep.
First time that the kid has been healthy in his career after 2 years of struggling physically.
This is probably the game for Georgia Tech. Try to get it in the hands of somebody to get a decent shot. It's Collier. 1 dribble, fades in the lane. Short, but he did hit the rim, or did he not? Alvin Jones, now wait a minute.
The ball hit the rim.
Ball hit the rim, and there's going to be a foul. And the basket of Alvin Jones counts, I believe.
Wow. 3-point play, but the ball definitely hit the rim, so there's a reset on the clock. No shot clock violation.
Shades of the Georgia game of the other night. It's got Bobby Crimmins smiling a little bit. He lost on a controversial ending against Georgia.
In that game, the ball made contact with the iron, and therefore it was a reset, and they did it the right way. They made sure they got the right call in that game. They took their time. They used the monitor. The monitors you're able to use in a scoring and timing situation. They say it grazed the rim.
Alvin Jones trying to clear the rim, and he did. A 3-point play. That free throw shooting makes it a 1-point game.
I think early in the season, you talk about a must game. I think it's a must game for Georgia Tech early in the season in terms of having confidence in the players and then battling back from losing 3 games in a row.
Georgia Tech is out of timeouts with 21.6 seconds remaining. Stanford clinging to a 1-point lead. Bobby Cremins is going to tell his troops what to do.
That's Kevin Cantwell working in there with him.
Associate head coach.
Willie Reese also now on the staff, former player. Mark Price.
Steal, then we're going to foul. And no matter what, if they make both of them, listen, if they make both of them, we still have a chance at a 3. Hey, guys, if 4 gets it, come here, let's defense.
Listen. Front guard, you're going to be running jump. We have no time out. You helping out. All right? Don't let nothing go long. All right? Don't time out.
That was the Georgia Tech huddle. Might have been one too many voices in there if I was in there trying to figure out what was going on. You see the foul situation, the reset, Georgia Tech out of timeouts. Obviously, as the key point there is if they go to the free throw line and hit both free throws, Tech has a chance to tie it with a 3 at the end.
He said try to make the steal. If we foul, he makes both.
And there's a quick foul in the backcourt. Jason Floyd on Casey Jacobson.
Well, 1-possession game if he converts both right here.
Well, this is a guy you wouldn't mind having at the free throw line. Yes, he is a freshman, but he's got a great stroke.
I think he wants to be there, too. I think there's something about that kid. He's got that bounce to his game that I really believe he loves the tough moment.
He did miss his last free throw after hitting 3 straight, and he missed that one as well.
Oh, baby, don't go away. Can Georgia Tech break that 3-game losing streak and beat the #3 team in America that's undefeated?
The door is still open.
Yes, it is. Oh, Alvin Jones, you want to do that now. He went right in his face and clapped. You don't need to do that, Brad.
Collier back in. All of a sudden, there's some noise in Phillips Arena. He got the second.
Collier's going to be an offensive threat.
Here's the ball game. Stanford leads by 2. 18 seconds to go. Georgia Tech a chance to send it to overtime or win it.
Yeah, you know, go inside right now. You don't have to worry. You can win in regulation.
Floyd. They tried to work him for a 3. He'll take the deuce. Offensive foul.
Oh, a charge call right here, baby.
And Floyd is gone as well.
And it was a good call. Freddie Barrett gets here. The ACC Commissioner in charge of officials does a great job, and he's going to be proud. The guy made a great call here. There's no homer call here. I mean, he's right there. The defense is right there. Good call. Mr. Kersey with a good call.
And Jason Floyd with the dejection and the rejection and the ejection. He's gone. 11 points. They tried to free him up, I think, for a 3. When that crossing pass came from Akins, Floyd was just outside the 3-point mark, but a nice job by the defense of Stanford to get over him.
Yeah, you know, they're a great defensive team, but again, understanding personnel late in the game. You got to know who your key options are. I mean, is that the key option you want when you got Collier on the floor? You got to go to your key option. I want to lose with my best.
Well, that was a situation where it looked like they were going to play for the 3 if they could get an open shot and try to win it. Otherwise, try to get it to Collier. Jason Floyd maybe made the wrong choice. He maybe should have stayed out there and lofted that baby.
Yeah, he was out of control right there, driving to the basket. But the bottom line is, I have no problem going for deuce because you're the home team, and if you go to overtime, usually the home team is in better shape most of the time when you study an overtime evaluation.
Now Georgia Tech's going to have to foul quickly and hope that Stanford again would leave one free throw askew and give them another chance.
Stanford's got to be very careful inbounding the basketball. So many times teams have a problem making the entry right now. They're going to have probably Mosley or Jacobson really come hard to the basketball.
Georgia Tech out of timeouts. There's some confusion maybe from the scores table about who's in the lineup for Georgia Tech. Apparently everything's all right. Here comes the inbound pass. Just under 8 seconds left. Collins to inbound. Got it to Mosley, and a foul immediately. Fine. Fouls Mosley.
I figured Mosley or Jacobson would step up to the basketball. Both pretty good shooters. He can make life easy for Coach Montgomery if he converts these.
So now Mosley goes the other way. He has not gone to the free throw line today, but he's 8 for 8 on the year.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he's 8 for 8 for the year, do you think you want him on the line?
I would say.
Wow.
And he got the roll.
All good shooters usually get that roll.
3-point game. If he hits this, if he gets this, Georgia Tech has almost no way to win this game.
If he converts this, they're lining up the bus outside and they're getting warmed up. get the engine turned on, and they're going back to the Ramblin' Wreck campus.
That looks short, and it is. Georgia Tech's got a chance. They got to hurry. They have no timeouts.
Akins can shoot it
for 3. Tony Akins for the tie. He got it. Tony Akins. 1 second remaining.
What a big shot by the little guy.
Timeout Stanford.
What a big shot by the little guy. 1 tick on the clock remaining.
Tied at 57. They had no timeouts, no way to stop it. Tony Akins took it coast to coast, set up on the left wing outside the arc, and just buried it.
He nailed it down. Remember, Stanford wasn't an overtime game with Duke. It was able to prevail. And I'll take a look right here. I thought he was going to reverse it to Collier. See the trail guy? He says, no, Jason, I'm nailing this, baby.
He gave a little stutter step to McDonald. McDonald just for an instant took a back pedal. Watch McDonald. There's the back pedal, and there's the delivery, and Akins knew it was gone the whole way.
Yeah, you can see the little confidence, the little guy jumping with joy. Jubilation. Oh, Bobby said, I designed that. I designed that in that timeout.
So now 1 second away from overtime.
Got to get ready to do some coaching now in the OT.
Mike Montgomery, and he's going to call.
I like the NBA rule where you can take the ball out at half court.
Collins inbounds to McDonald at the buzzer for the win. We're going to OT.
OT, baby. They want us to work overtime. We've only had 5 games this week.
So we got a timeout, courtesy of Tony Akins. It is tied, and we go to OT. 57-57. We'll be right back.
In any business, there can be only one priority. At Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we have never forgotten ours. Not surprisingly, we measure success a little differently.
Sleep just anywhere. Stay at Fairfield Inn by Marriott. It's clean, it's comfortable, it's friendly. Fairfield Inn by Marriott. You can expect more.
I'll have the beef fajitas with a smoothie, please.
And I'll start with the house salad and Friday's. I can't read it.
Brian Kenny here in our ESPN studios. Leonard Guyton is the quarterback for Carson Newman, 2nd straight year. It's Carson Newman in Northwest Missouri State in the D2 National Football Championship. It's coming up right after overtime. Brad?
Okay, Brian, tell those guys to wait 5 minutes, will you? We're in overtime in Atlanta. 57-57 on a 3-point shot by Tony Akins. Almost at the buzzer. There was 1 second remaining. But Akins, who had not been a big part of the offense today, he's picked his shots pretty well, though, Dick, and he couldn't have picked a better time to drain a 3.
You're right what you just said. He's been very selective, and I think that's helped his game. He's played a decent basketball game because he hasn't forced shots like he did against Georgia, according to people, when he was 4 for 15. And you got to have good point guard play to have a chance to win today in college basketball.
So the folks that are in Phillips Arena for a doubleheader get a doubleheader plus, because we go plus here in game 1. In overtime, Alvin Jones controls the tip.
Well, we said usually the home team jumps out and usually has an advantage in the OT, but Stanford's already been in a big OT with Duke, and they were able to prevail.
There's Collier playing with 4 fouls. Works the baseline. Missed with a hook off the glass. Stanford now with a chance to get the first points of the extra session.
How many times we talk about free throw shooting, how important. Stanford makes that free throw down the other end. Mosley, it's all over.
Jacobson looking inside. McDonald's going to take a 3. Gotta hurry that one. And the rebound is Collier's.
Yeah, that was a poor shot. You know, a lot of people, I know Jimmy Valvano and I for years have always said when it's less than 5 seconds, why not foul and let him go to the line rather than shoot the 3? Some people disagree because they simply say it's tough in terms of he makes the 2, inbounds in the wall.
Tony Akins is hurt. I don't know if he strained something behind his knee or his hamstring, but he is hobbling. Jacobson. It came out on him. Collier with a rebound. Let's see if Tech's going to take a timeout here at all. Tony Akins looks at the ref. He's talking about his leg right now.
He's looking at Coach Crimmins.
I'm trying to play through it, whatever it is. I know he's gripping the back of his right leg or knee.
Yeah, he's grabbing it right there.
He's going to take a shot off a bad wheel. Missed it. And Alvin Jones comes out of the pile with it.
You all right? You sure? No.
You got to get official timeout.
Finally, stop play. Trainer over to have a look.
Oh, right there. Right there, he grabs it. But he made a change the direction. He's going to have to come up big now at that point guard slot.
We'll hope that's just a cramp for Tony Akins. Fine's in there, as Dick said, with Fine in the backcourt. It's Jones and Collier and Babel.
Fine is so due to knock down a three. You just almost feel he's due to be able to.
Definitely use a little clock here. No score so far in overtime. Entry into Collier. Can he find the handle? Scramble for the ball. Nope, it's going to come loose. Georgia Tech loses it. And Mosley comes out of the pile. 16 Georgia Tech turnover.
Patience right now by Stanford. Always trying to swing the ball side to side.
Mosley got his man in the air. Kicks it out to McDonald. With the foul trouble on Collier. Collins goes right at him, but the foul was not on Collier. It's going to be on Collins.
Yeah, climbing the back.
Offensive foul.
Climbing the back from the weak side.
That's 4 on Jason.
Stanford always tries to bring the ball to the wing to get that good angle, but the fourth foul now on Collins, so that's evened up now between he and Collier.
Walk it the other way. We've played over 2 minutes of the overtime. Still no score. Alvin Jones, who hit a big free throw as part of a 3-point play in regulation to keep the game close enough for Georgia Tech to tie at the end of regulation, goes back to the free throw line. I like what Mark Price has done with his free throw stroke.
Yes, he has. Mark Price has really helped him. He gets a little nod right there. Looked good in that stroke.
8 points, 14 boards for Alvin Jones.
Coming out of Lakeland, Florida. Home of the Detroit Tigers. Spring training. Nice touch. Yes, sir. The big guy converts.
So Tech by 2 in overtime. First points.
This is a big possession right now for Stanford. They've been really cold. They got to get a deuce here.
Backdoor cut. Mosley with a jam.
What a great play. What a great play. That was called from the sideline. They set that up beautifully with the entry to the post. The great backdoor cut.
Tied again now at 59.
That's like music when you see that happening. Yep. Great music. It's a little magical.
Babel against Jacobson.
Babel not going to think shot. You know that. He's not going to think shot at all.
Remember, Tech has lost one of its shooters. Floyd fouled out in regulation. Jones inside. Rebound. Who touched it last? It's going to be off Georgia Tech.
You're going to watch McDonald right now with the good post play. And here's the bounce pass. Wow, great entry. They caught Fine staring at the basketball. It's a no-no. You must see ball, and you must see man. Akins coming back in the game.
There's a pick out on top for McDonald. He's going to take a 3. That's the second shot in overtime that I think he's hurried a little bit.
Yeah, you know, he knocked down 2 against Duke. He made 2 big ones against Duke. Remember that?
That's right. You might be thinking about that. Now near a minute and a half.
I'd want to get Jacobson some looks. I'll tell you one thing, because he knows what to do with the basketball.
Mosley up and under. Rattled out, but fine. It was going to be called for a foul.
Mosley going to the free throw line now. As we said earlier, he had not missed coming into this game. But
Jason and the Argonauts out here today.
All kinds of Jasons in college basketball. Jason Williams, Jason Gardner, Jason Capono, super diaper dandy down at UCLA.
So they take all the time they can before Jason Collins will slowly walk over there to the Stanford bench, and Curtis Borchard will come out.
He's got 30 seconds to make that change.
And back to the free throw line is Alvin Jones, who probably would cringe being at the free throw line in past years, but today he's hit 4 straight. 5 out of 7 overall.
He'd be the guy you'd look to foul. And now it's a little...
As if he was at the free throw line, he's the guy that's going to step up there. Carson Newman Northwest Missouri underway in the Division II championship. We'll be going to that football game immediately following our overtime.
I don't know if it's good to think that much about the shot like that. When you think. It's okay to be focused, and he is focused, but you get a little tight when you start thinking like that. It's almost like grabbing that golf club the same way. You take all kinds of practice swings, get up and down, tries that left-handed spinning reverse layup.
Akins shot rimmed out. Collier's hit the rim.
Oh, this would be a tough loss for Bobby Cremins, and especially if this kid is hurt as well.
Oh, boy.
It'd be a double loss. It'd be a double loss. I mean, you lost 3 games in a row, had a great chance to beat the #3 team in America, and now you got double jeopardy here if you lose your point guard, who seems to be really in some